The 2015-2018 Bmw S 1000RR. BMW has always had a presence in the motorcycle racing world. In fact, the word Beemer was coined specifically for BMW's race bikes of old, and the factory continues its blitz into the 21st century. The S1000RR is already part of that history, and it is marketed as a race bike, though truth to tell, the official factory race bike gets some features you won't see on the street, but that isn't unusual. Moved by a 999cc engine that delivers nearly 200 horsepower, the S1000RR is nothing to take lightly. Salient point is, this bike is very close to the official race bike, which makes sense considering that it started life as a race bike in '09 that spilled over into production for the general public the following year. Continue reading for my review of the BMW S1000RR. Design. While it can be said that the RR has rather full body panels, they aren't quite as full as one would normally expect on a proper superbike, and they allow the engine to peek out and show a little bit of ankle. The Double R has proven popular with the masses, and was BMW's best-selling model for the 2015 model year, a year that also saw a major overhaul on the previous generation to bring the bike up to date, and if you will pardon the pun, up to speed. Join me while I check out what's new on this gen, and why it has garnered so much attention worldwide. This new generation Double R follows the same design criteria as its forebears, and though there are differences, they are rather subtle. What isn't so subtle is the aggressive, nose-down, tail-up stance that leaves the RR looking like nothing so much as a runner crouched at the blocks. A redesigned front fairing engine cowling features a new, smaller windshield with an enlarged air intake and gill-like heat vents, as well as an extension to the lower rear cowling to increase airflow through the body. If the racing vents aren't your cup of tea, the factory has two different, fully enclosed, lightweight carbon body panel sets available as special accessories. The RR retains its split-face, asymmetrical headlight arrangement, but reversed the positions so that the low beam is on the right and the high beam on the left. Not a big difference, but one that will leap out at someone familiar with the previous design. The pilot seat and P-pad also received a bit of attention, and the pad can be hidden beneath a cover that enhances the race bike curb appeal. Last year, the pillion cover was an option, but for 2018, it's standard. Speaking of coverage, while it can be said that the RR has rather full body panels, they aren't quite as full as one would normally expect on a proper superbike Mo 293, and they allow the engine to peek out and show a little bit of ankle. Chassis. Beemer adapted the dynamic damping control (DDC) from its HP4 for use by the S1000RR, and offer it as optional equipment. An aluminum, bridge-type frame carries the engine at a 32-degree angle and uses it as a stressed member to close the loop. The frame underwent a significant revamp for this new generation, with a half-degree reduction in the steering head for a shorter 23.5-degree rake and 3.9-inch trail. A 3 mm drop in the swingarm pivot works with the new steering geometry to provide improved feel and feedback to the rider while increasing the traction at the rear tire. A strong-looking, dogleg aluminum swingarm completes the standing chassis, and it adds to the curb appeal while inspiring confidence in its implied strength. Suspension got a little tweak ulation as well. The inverted, 46 mm forks come with the same 10-position adjustment for the compression and rebound damping that allows you to dial in for the conditions. Fork length got stretched by 1.7 inches, and a reduction in negative spring travel jacked both ends of the bike up an additional 5 mm for extra cornering clearance. The rear shock also comes with compression and rebound damping, and the compression damping range has been expanded a bit for even more ride tuning options. Suspension travel measures out at 4.7 inches at the axles on both ends of the bike. Beemer adapted the dynamic damping control (DDC) from its HP4 for use by the Double R, and offer it as optional equipment. The DDC works in conjunction with the traction control system and uses data concerning lean angle and roll rate along with detailed info from the suspension components themselves to electrically adjust a damping valve to dynamically tune the ride. Baseline suspension performance is automatically set when the rider selects a riding mode, and the system takes it from there. If that isn't good enough, you can further tweak the ride on the fly via push button. As per homologate superbike rules, the Double R rolls on 17-inch hoops. The bike comes stock with cast rims, but offer forged aluminum rims that weigh in 5.2 pounds lighter than the stock ones. Buyers also get a choice of tires, and can choose from either the Pirelli Diavolo Supercorsa SP or the Conti Race Attack Compound variety. A pair of 4-pot calipers bind the dual 320mm front brake discs, and a single pot caliper grabs the 220mm disc in back. The RR comes with a semi-integral, race ABS system that also provides varying levels of intervention based on the selected rider modes, or it can be turned off altogether. When in race mode, a rear wheel lift detection feature prevents end-overs by feathering the front brake as soon as the rear wheel comes off the ground. All nifty stuff that acts as both enabler and safety net for riders seeking the edge of the performance envelope. Drivetrain. That's pretty much 200 horsepower from a 1-liter engine, and a claimed top speed of over 125 miles per hour. BMW's inline, 4-banger mill really puts the super in this superbike. Massively over-square, this motor runs an 80mm bore and 49.7mm stroke, so naturally torque is relatively mild with 83 pound-feet at 10,500 revolutions per minute, and horsepower is through the roof with 199 ponies at 13,500 revolutions per minute, 6 horsepower more than the previous gen. You read that right, folks, that's pretty much 200 horsepower from a 1-liter 999cc engine, and a claimed top speed of over 125 miles per hour. How much over, can't say. Dual overhead cams actuate 4 valves in each combustion chamber, and compression on the production model is fairly high at 13:1. Tidbit of trivia, the race team bike runs even hotter at a whopping 14:1. As with the chassis, the engine comes with various features to help the rider control and harness all that power. The electronic wizardry starts at the right wrist with Beemer's e-gas ride-by-wire feature that enables the other systems. First up is the servomotor-controlled, variable-length intake tract that uses a long intake at lower RPM and shifts to a shorter intake pipe when engine revs get up over 11.5 km to allow the engine to crank out those last few ponies. Next we have the standard riding modes that offer 3 distinct presets for different conditions, as well as the optional ride modes.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.